Boom. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Was it Thursday now? Yeah, happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a kind of a special beer this afternoon because once, like, these guys are from my local area, of course. Hop Butcher for the World is a Chicago brewery. And I did this completely on chance. I know I looked outside today. I saw we had a little bit of snow last night. So I was like, hey, might as well do a beer that has to do with snow. But I didn't know that today is actually the anniversary of this actually happening itself. So we got one here called the Blizzard of 67. So it's a hazy triple IPA coming in at 10% ABV. And it's actually was made in memory of the giant crazy blizzard that apparently we had back in 67 here in the Chicagoland area. I think we got a total of 23 inches of snow in one night, and I didn't know I did this, but we're actually drinking this on the anniversary of this actually happening. It happened between January 26th and 27th of 1967, so I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, wow, I timed this perfectly, apparently. I pulled it out of the fridge because it snowed last night. I was like, why not do a snow-themed beer? And it's actually the anniversary of the 23 inches of snow we got in a single day here in the Chicagoland area back in 1967. So I'm pretty damn excited. I've always been a big fan of Hop Butcher for the World when it comes to how they brand and market their stuff. And I've only had a few beers from them, to be honest. I see them all over the place around my area, but I really haven't drank a lot of beers from them, which is really, really surprising because they have a lot of them. So I'm really damn excited. And plus, it's a hazy triple IPA. You guys know by now it's probably one of my favorite styles of an IPA out there, and I'm really, really stoked because this is a triple IPA brewed with Citra, Mosaic, Eldorado, and Equinox hops. Triple IPA. Most likely thinking that it was, I don't know if I'm going to say with the triple dry hopped or not, but to be honest, I think this is going to be an absolutely delicious little beverage for the afternoon. Of course, they're saying tasting notes here are going to be, let's see, lush tropical and light resin. So makes me think there's going to be a lot of tropical fruit notes in this one, most likely still having some of that dank, resiny, cannabis-like qualities in there as well. But I'm expecting some really, really good stuff out of this one. So, of course, with it being a 10% ABV, I wouldn't really consider this beer sessionable at all. It's definitely one that you're going to be feeling after one can. So, let's crack this thing open and see what we get on the nose with this guy. Got a little bit on my hand, but that's okay. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh yeah, definitely getting cannabis-like qualities coming out of there, like dank, resiny, piney kind of notes. Not really okay, a little bit of citrus, but nothing too crazy right now. But to me, that dank, resiny, forward kind of aroma is coming through pretty heavy, which I think smells pretty damn delicious. So let's pour this guy. Gonna be drinking this out of my Heart of the North glass this afternoon, and let's try to get a little head on this one. Let's see what we can get for aromas when we pour this one. I want to see if we can possibly get a little bit more of the citrus to come through. So let's pour this guy. Of course, let's try to get a little more aggressive towards the top so we can get more of a head. Oh yeah, look at that haze. Holy crap, this is having a nice little bit of head on there. Look at that. That is hazy AF. Definitely like a pillowy soft white head on top. Still not really getting a lot of citrus on aroma, which is definitely interesting. I'm most likely thinking you're gonna be getting a little bit of on the palate mostly. But I think for most of the aromas, I'm not really getting a bitterness from aromas either, but most likely there's going to be a bitterness as well just because it's an IPA, and most of the time there's either a first word hop or early addition hop to kind of to pretty much channel in your bitterness right out the bat. But then towards the end you're going to start kind of working on aromas and all that kind of stuff like that. But I think the color in this one is absolutely fantastic. Love the head on there. But yeah, I think it's time for us to give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers everybody. Happy Thursday. Yeah, that's, wow. Surprisingly smooth for a 10% triple IPA. Definitely getting lighter notes of citrus than I thought I would. To me, most of the qualities that I'm getting citrus in there, but I'm not really getting it, like a little bit of tropical fruit. Like the only kind of tropical fruit notes that I'm getting really are maybe a little bit of mango-y kind of notes, but a lot of the flavors I'm getting are a lot of piney, resiny, forest floor kind of notes that come through. Not really getting a grassiness at all from it, like a citrusy, grassy kind of thing like I would expect to get from like a lemongrass kind of situation. No vegetal notes, but really, really piney, very resiny. Definitely different for a New England hazy, just because a lot of the times tropical fruit notes and citrus notes come very, very far forward in these kind of style of IPAs. But this one is evidently having that more of a piney upfront kind of thing going there, which is a nice change of pace. Really nice creamy mouthfeel to it. And overall just really smooth for how high of an ABV this one is. And I mean, you can kind of tell it's a little bit of booziness to it, but it's not to the point where you can like, oh, you take your first sip and be like, yeah, this is a 10%. No, this definitely feels a lot less than a 10%. So if we're going to try to find a similar beer to this one, the Untappd page for this beer is a little weird because all the similar beers for this beer on Untappd's page are other Hop Butcher for the World beers. So most likely if you can't get your hands on this one, there's a good chance you most likely won't be able to get your hands on any of the other ones. So we're going to look under my beer history and see if we can find something similar here. So we're going to look under the category of IPA Triple New England Hazy. So of course, if you're on Untappd, you always can go through and look at your beer history, seeing stuff that you've had in the past and all that kind of stuff like that, and trying to compare what's similar, all that stuff. So we're going to go under IPA Triple New England Hazy. Where is it? Triple New England Hazy. You've had 32 of this kind of style. So let's see what we can find here that's going to be similar. I would definitely consider this something similar to like the Evangeline series from Adroit Theory. The t-shirt cannon I had from Black Stack is definitely more, I would say that was more of a tropical, fruitier forward one. The Antique Synthesizers would probably be something that I would consider similar to this one. Not really with the Pig Minds 10th Anniversary Cloud for Claude, if you want to call it, from Pig Minds. That one's definitely very, very strong in the citrusy notes, kind of like that. So, but those are still really good. I definitely consider this somewhere in the realms of being similar to the Evangeline series, the G.I. Joe series from Adroit Theory. What else do we got here? I don't know if I'd really put this similar to the Aussie Sweetness from Tripping Animals. Let's see. We got Odd Muse with the Lessons Learned. If I remember correctly, that one was a little bit more of a... I think that was also another citrusy, like, juice bomb to it. Let's see what else here. Celestial Beer Works had some stuff with the triple stars and the technical skill set. We got the 2038 Rebirth from the Ferndale Project. I'd probably put this similar to the Unusually Precise Tornado from Turning Point as well. The Pedigree, definitely from Moore Brewing Company, I consider something similar to this. Not really the Triple Beezer from Moore. But there are a bunch of different breweries out there that are making triple IPAs, especially the New England style of IPAs, because you've got Adroit Theory, Black Stack, Tombstone, Junkyard, Destination Unknown, Revision, Levante, Moore Brewing Company, Old Irving in Illinois, Turning Point, Westbrook, Ferndale Project, Celestial Beer Works. There are a bunch of breweries around the states that are making triple New England Hazy IPAs because they want something to still kind of give you that refreshing, like citrus, resiny kind of notes, but they also want to have something with a little bit more of an alcoholic punch to it, I guess you can say. A lot of the times when people are making triple hazy IPAs, they do a really good job of kind of mellowing out the booziness to it, to where they make a lot of these very, very dangerous, to where they taste like they're a nice, easy drinking hazy IPA, and it comes in pretty quick to come and get you. So overall, a lot of these breweries I would recommend for trying a New England like triple hazy IPA, because it's definitely going to put you to the test when it comes to what you're going to be tasting, because it's overall just a really, really cool style. I love triple IPAs. I think it's a very, very complex style of making beer because there's so many things you can add to make it different. Of course, you could add different extracts during the boil and all that kind of stuff like that, especially with like the malt extracts you can get with either a powder or liquid form. And of course, if you're trying to make a hazy IPA, you could also use the addition of any kind of puree you want to kind of enhance tropical fruit notes if you're going to be doing stuff with tropical fruit in there or anything like that. So there's so many different ways to kind of make a New England Hazy IPA your own. But when you go into that triple and like starting to increase the booziness and adding more hops to it, it just makes everything so much more complex, and just overall one of my favorite styles of beers when it comes to just triple New England Hazy IPAs, because I think there's so much complexity going on with them, so many different things that different breweries are doing to kind of make it their own. And overall, it's just a really, really cool thing that people do with these kind of styles of beers. So I've named off a couple of the ones that I consider similar, but let's see here. Back at this page for this beer, on Untapped. Description of this one's pretty self-explanatory. It's Citra, Mosaic, Eldorado, Equinox Hop, Triple India Pale Ale. So talking about so I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of information about the 1967 Chicago Blitz, because for what happened, well, it says here, let's see, this is a post put up 8 hours ago. I'll throw it in chat for you guys if anyone wants to take a look at it. It's very, very, it's like a nice, interesting read, so I'll throw this link in chat if anybody wants to look at this and see what it's all about. But it was kind of intense. It was way before my time, but this was something that did a big impact on the Chicagoland area back in the 60s. And it's, let's say, a record 26 inches of snow began falling in Chicago in what is known as the Blizzard of 67. Thursday, the 56th anniversary of the 67 Chicago Blizzard, a massive snowstorm dumped a record-setting 23 inches of snow on Chicago. And it was apparently insane. I remember stories of my dad telling me where he was at home still, and what they used to do to get out of their house after this blizzard, they actually had to build tunnels through their yard to get to the front of the house because doors were completely covered and stuff like that. So building like tunnels through the snow just to get to the front of your house, I think, is just insane. 23 inches of snow is a lot of snow. Plus you got to account for like the wind and all the drift. You were 6 years old in 67. So yeah, I don't know if you remember hearing about that within the Chicagoland area. I don't really think you guys get a crazy amount of snow near you, Ian, but 23 inches of snow, I think, would shut anywhere down, no matter what place in the country and where you are in the world. It's going to be something to where it just shuts everything down. You're kind of stuck in your house when this kind of thing's going on. But I don't think we've ever experienced anything quite like that when it comes to that blizzard. But if I remember correctly, we had a pretty crazy one back in what year was that? Maybe like 2013, 2014, if I'm correct. It might have been actually before that. I would say maybe like 2011, 2012-ish, to where we had some kind of, you were negative 14 after we had something similar to this one where it was just crazy snow drifts and everything like that, to where cars got buried. But we've never had the point to where we've had an accumulated 23 inches of snow from one day of snowfall. So it's a pretty crazy thing that kind of gives people an idea of what kind of snowfall can happen here in the Chicagoland area, because you never know. You could be in a frozen tundra for freaking 3-4 months, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So if you want to come to Chicago in the winter, you kind of have to be ready for any day of the week having incredible amounts of snowfall. But let me blow my nose really quick. Hold on a second here. That'll tickle my nose that I need to take care of. But okay, let's get back to the beer. So before we start looking at ratings and all that stuff and what other people thought of this one, let's see what the average of this guy is and what the overall average of this beer is. So like I stated before, it's a 10% ABV, which you guys know by now, would never consider this beer sessionable one bit. This is definitely one, like I said, that you're going to be drinking one of these and you're going to feel it. Even though if it doesn't taste boozy, it's going to catch up on you pretty quick. And with over 3,214 ratings, this one has an average rating of 4.32 out of 5, which is pretty damn phenomenal for having that high of an average. So this is definitely a beer that a lot of people absolutely love, and I can see why. It's absolutely delicious. So let's look here at my friends list and see if any of my friends list who check this one in. So let's see here. So my uncle checked this one in, I believe. It doesn't give it a rating because when my uncle checks in beers, he really doesn't give ratings. He just uses Untapped as kind of a catalog of beers he's had. So just in case if he wants to try something different, he can go to something different. But let's see. My buddy Ridgeopolis did a review on this one, it looks like. He didn't give it a rating. Of course, you want to go to his YouTube channel, you can. I think you said search Ridgeopolis in YouTube or something like that. You may be able to find something like. And he said, this is my review for the Blizzard of 67, ADA, Bigfoot, AL, courtesy of the fine people from Hop Butcher for the World. So I wonder if he was able to pick this one up near him. We got somebody else on my friends list check this one and gave it a 4.25, saying fruity, tropical, and vanilla on the nose, slight citrus with a little dank as well, dank and citrusy on the tongue, smooth, modest, Not crazy boozy for a triple sweet tropical aftertaste. Not really getting the fruity tropical thing, fruity tropical and vanilla on the nose. That's an interesting kind of aroma he gets. Let's see if I can get that. Okay, I definitely get that tropical-ish, mango-like tropical aftertaste. But to me, it's a very, very strong, like dank, pungent, just resiny, cannabis-like characteristics following the palate throughout the entire drink. So overall, he really liked it. My description of this one's going to be a little bit different, but I think we're still kind of similar, I guess. But the other thing I'm saying, I'm like not really getting the vanilla and the tropical. But he gave it 4.25, so he must have really liked it. And then another buddy on my friends list who gave this one a drink, he gave it a 4.25 out of 5. He purchased his at the Open Bottle in Tinley Park, Illinois, which is a beer shop near him. So all these were, so I think this was released this year or not, but I know they kind of sold a lot of these ones, a lot of check-ins. I don't know if they've drank them throughout the years or not. This is probably one that has been made throughout a couple of years or so, just to kind of get that average of 3,214 ratings. But let's look here at the global ratings and see what other people had to say about this guy. So we got a couple check-ins here that are recent. We got a check-in that was 12 minutes ago. Purchased at the Open Bottle in Tinley Park, so you could purchase this at the Open Bottle if you want. It looks like you could actually drink it there, which is cool. He gave it a 4.25 out of 5. What else do we got here? We got a 3.5 purchased at the Iron and Glass in Manuka, which is a beer bar / beer store. He gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Let's see what else we got. A 4 out of 5 here. Another one purchased at the Iron and Glass. We got a 4.5 here. Somebody on my friend, not just another global ratings here, purchased at the Global Brew and Tap House in Schaumburg. Got it on tap saying, in honor of anniversary of the snowstorm, I'm enjoying this chewy tropical beer. I was 5 in the pictures above. So he actually posted pictures of him during that snowstorm, which I think is really cool when you're checking this one. I feel like more people that if you're alive at this time and you're drinking this beer, you should definitely post pictures on the check-in for this one to kind of show what it was like when you were alive during this, if you were in the Chicagoland area. I think that's a pretty cool thing that I saw him do there. Let's do about 3 more to see what people had to say. We got a 4.5. Let's see, we got a 4.25 purchased at 3 Cellars, which looks like it's in Menominee. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Yeah, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. And then the last one we're going to look at here is a 3.5 out of 5 at the McCarty Mills Tap Room over in Aurora, Illinois. So yeah, a lot of Illinois check-ins. I know I see a lot of usual distribution when it comes to stuff from Hop Butcher in Illinois a lot of the times. I think they do have distribution outside of the state. If I remember correctly, I see some of their stuff show up all over the place sometimes, so I know there's distribution. But I have a feeling this one is going to be more readily available within the Chicagoland area just because it's the Blizzard of 67. They're definitely trying to market this one for people in the Chicagoland area for who were alive around that time. Be like, oh, I remember that. I'm going to buy this and drink it. So their marketing on this one is, to me, strictly for an Illinois kind of fan base. So I don't really see this beer being available outside of the state due to it being just going after an event that happened in the Chicagoland area. So maybe seeing this one out of state, you'll maybe see a couple of them out, but I think this is going to be mostly one that's going to be sold within the state. Well, within the state of Illinois. So let's see here. Okay, so yeah, you did get around a lot of snow around you back in that time making snow blocks. That's pretty cool, Ian. But with all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here on our end with this guy. The first thing we're going to look at here is can art. And of course, it's exactly what I would expect for something that's named the Blizzard 67. It's just everything is covered in snow. You can't really see anything on the ground. The only thing that's showing is a little lawn chair. Where's the lawn chair? There it is. The lawn chair that was left out is now buried in snow, but just showing everything around you buried in snow. It looks like it's a nighttime thing because you have the lamp going, and then I really liked what they did there. I'm trying to think what that is, what they used for the blizzard. Maybe it just looks like pieces of wood or something like that. They did definitely put a decent amount of detail. I like what they did when it comes to the snow, the pieces of wood naming out Blizzard of 67. You can actually see shadows too, which I think is a nice touch. So they definitely put a lot of detail into this one for sure. Even though it's more of a cleaner and classier kind of label. I wouldn't really consider this something to be like over the top when it comes to detail, but I still think they did a really good job kind of representing and visualizing an event that happened with the Chicagoland area around that time. So I think they did a really, really good job with that. So I'll give this a solid 4 out of 5 for can art. I really do enjoy it. The only thing that sucks about Hop Butcher stuff is you really can't remove the labels due to kind of being that if you're a person that saves labels and all kind of stuff for cool looking beers, you might not be able to do it with this one due to this being like one of those like what am I trying to say? The heat shrink kind of situation. It's like a heat shrunk label on there. It goes all the way to the top and all the way through the bottom. So it's going to be difficult to kind of take this label off, and it really wouldn't, like if you wanted to present it somewhere, it wouldn't really present well. But I think 4 out of 5 for can art is definitely something that I'm going to give for this one. This is definitely something that would catch my attention at a liquor store or a bottle shop, because I saw the Blizzard of 67. Of course, I'd look at it and be like, what was this all about? Then I remember there was a giant snowstorm in the Chicagoland area in 1967. So marketing, like I said, to the crowd of older individuals that were around, that were alive during the Blizzard of 67, I think is a really cool thing to do. It kind of marketing to a knit group, but I still know of the events, so I'm definitely going to purchase it and give it my fair shake on all that kind of stuff like that. So overall, really nice label. But let's see here. Is this beer on tap? I don't know if they have a tap room over at a Hop Butcher or not. I've never been over there. I've always wanted to go there, but if they have a tap room, if I went over there and got this beer on tap, would I get another one? Let's see here. To be honest, yeah, I think I would. I'm definitely more a fan of the more tropical forward triple IPAs, but I think this is a really nice difference when it comes to just what I'm usually used to from this kind of style. But I think its overall flavors are really nice. That pungent cannabis-like dankness in it, I think, is really nice. The creamy mouth feels great. A little bit of slight tropical fruit for me. Like I said, I'm only getting like the littlest hints of maybe like a mango kind of situation towards, and that lingers at the end. But I think they still did a really good job with this one. This is definitely one that's going to sell a lot today if it's available at taproom and stuff. I can see a lot of check-ins happening within like later in the day when people are getting off work, going to maybe stopping at a bar, having a drink. I can see a lot of check-ins happening within the next like 24 hours with this beer. So if you want to see what the average ratings are on this one, it's probably going to change within 24 hours there's going to be a lot of people drinking this one. So I would definitely get another one of these for sure. I don't know if it would be to the point where I'd try to get a 4-pack to bring home, but I think it's still, I'm leaning on the edge of being to the point where I'd get another 4-pack of this to bring home. But overall, still really, really fantastic. So with that being said, I think my final rating on this guy, I'm going to give a very, very solid, let's see. Trying to get a little more detailed in my final ratings. I'm going to give it between like an 8.35 to 8.5 is where I'm going to leave it. It's going to be closer to 8.35 for me. I think it's still a really, really good if you have the opportunity to pick this one up if you're in the Chicagoland area within the next few days. I definitely would recommend it. It's something that's going to leave you nice and warm during these cold kind of days, especially with there's all the snow on the ground. You want to keep yourself warm. A nice high ABV triple IPA is definitely going to do the job. So overall, really, really fantastic beer. Good job to the crew over at Hop Butcher. They did another really, really delicious one. So I'm going to try to get more Hop Butcher beers coming up on this channel. I definitely need to go out of my way to kind of do that because they have so many beers available and they're pretty readily available in the Chicagoland area. Who knows? I may give some Hop Butcher beers away on the Patreon. Who knows? So if you want to take advantage of trying some Hop Butcher for the World beers, of course, you can try to see if that a local liquor store or bottle shop for you, or you can join the Patreon and have the opportunity to possibly win some. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is pretty much it for today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It would help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, as along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live in another review. I don't have a review planned for you guys tomorrow because I got a bunch of errands to run during the day. So it won't be around for a review tomorrow, but I'll have some for you guys for this weekend, so keep an eye out for those. Other than that, let's see. Of course, if you want to see some more stuff, what's going to be reviewed on this channel, all kind of stuff, best way to do so is to head over to my Instagram. Of course, you can shoot me a follow over there. You'll see all what I'm be reviewing the day of it's being reviewed. So that'll be the first place you'll be able to see what's on the docket for a review and everything like that. And then, of course, you could shoot me a follow on Instagram or shoot me a friend request on Untapped as well. You guys hear me talk about Untapped all the time. I think it's a fantastic platform. I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers. It's pretty much what it is. You check in beers, you get badges, you can see what's popular in your area, you can see what's popular globally. It's just a really, really cool platform that they've created over there. And if you're a craft beer lover, you have to get yourself over to Untapped. I think it's a must-be kind of situation for any craft beer fan out there. But if you haven't shot me a friend request on there as well, shoot my link to my profiles down in the description below. But of course, I mentioned you guys about the Patreon. I do have a Patreon available if you want to help support me and help support this channel. That is the best way to do so. I do monthly 4-pack giveaways of Illinois exclusive craft beers, so you have the opportunity to win some beer if you join. And I believe everybody on my Patreon so far has won at least a couple 4-packs already, just because smaller amount of people on there, so everybody's having the opportunity to win at least more than once. So if you want the opportunity to win some beer, Patreon is going to be the best way to do so. Plus, it would help me out greatly because it helps me get more beer in my hands and helps me get more beer out to you guys as well. So if you want to help support the channel, the Patreon is going to be the best way to do so. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I have for you guys today. So thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody who's going to be tuning on the replay as well. You guys are fantastic. And I'm going to end this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.